Hey, welcome to another Nikke video. So some of you may have noticed that I didn't actually pull for 2B at all because, well, I realized later in that, when I made that video, like a few days later, that anniversary is going to be like in a few months or something, like a few weeks, like somewhere on that time frame, like I think November or something. So considering how long it takes to save up resources, I was like, you gotta choose one of the two, and this might be a controversial video for a review. But we're going to be looking at A2 now instead of 2B because 2B's review is over. So, same thing like 2B. We have A2 with a burst 3 distinction. And she is also a rocket launcher unit, not that. Rocket launcher unit, but she is an attacker unlike 2B where she's a defender. And you'll notice right away compared to 2B, and you look at A2, 2B is far less dependent on a specific niche of a team. I wouldn't want to say niche, it's just like, it kind of is a niche, but it's kind of like not, because you kind of have to go out of your way to build 2B's team. She's very selfish of a DPS, very strong, but very selfish. Whereas 2B, all she really needs is a healer. And there are quite a few of those. So all A2 really needs is a healer in order for her to do a lot of damage. And we're going to talk about everything here, but the main thing, if you just want to click on the video and just know what she's good for, is this part down here where her effect 3, I'm assuming you get all these things all at once, because it doesn't say, oh, you have to use this this and many times or anything like that. It doesn't say that, so I'm assuming you get all this stuff here. Well, the first one, of course, not as amazing, but it's there. The second, and the third one, of course, is the one that you care about. And so, the effect 3 is what you care about the most, the charge speed, which is quite significant, 35.88%, which people have told me before she actually came out, before the numbers actually came out. Well, the sheet came out, but not her in game. So that she was gonna be one of the best, charge speed burst charge things in the game. And so I'm assuming this is a very high number, because I don't really invest in like charge speed characters really. I mean, if they have it, cool, but I prefer a very more standard lineup. But this is pretty good. That's looking pretty good so far with this down here. And let's look at the rest. When you activate your burst skill, you affect yourself. You get charge damage increase. That's quite a large charge damage. And if you don't know what charge damage is, if you're a new player, you're just coming in just from the Nier collaboration, charge damage is when you hold down the button or hold down on your tablet or phone or whatever, and you charge up that thing on the side, goes all the way up to like whatever number it may be, 200%, 100%, whatever it may be, and then you let go. That is the charge damage. And the explosion radius is actually quite, I think that's kind of ridiculous. That's pretty big, I believe. So pretty good numbers on that. And then we go to slow charge attack. Activates when hitting a target with full charge, affects the target, and you deal some final damage, which is you just basically are based on her stats, I believe. And that's pretty decent because it'll affect your burst, because you get an attack boost. So, and then you also get a damage to parts. So this is very good against enemies who have a lot of parts. Or projectiles, yeah, projectiles. Oh wait, no, this is not the projectile one. There's another one that's similar to this, but it's like the red ring where you have to shoot it or attack it before it goes all the way around, or else they do a special attack, which this is actually quite good, especially for a DPS that is a rocket launcher unit. Rocket launcher units are typically not that amazing unless they're senti, but if she has all the explosion radius, which is what you would care about, she has explosion radius, and now she has damage to parts, so you're not really going to be using A2 to be destroying the circle. Maybe she can, but normally you'd want, someone like Modernia to be doing that, or someone with a machine gun to be doing that, to get rid of the circle fast when you're manually controlling that one character. And so that's it for that. So it's pretty good. And like we already went over the burst. We already went over the burst for her. So I feel like she requires a lot less like team investment for A2 to be effective. I feel like she's not going to be the number 1 damage dealer on your team, because really you're bringing her, like I said, for the charge speed. So she'd be good on a team that requires you to want to do it very fast but have a low cooldown on that burst 3. So like Modernia, probably gonna slaughter in with Modernia, and I feel like Modernia probably would be the best bet. You could also, of course, you could have Scarlet, but the problem with Scarlet is you kind of want to have Summer Annis on that team. And I don't remember. I already forgot what hers is. Yeah, she's also burst 3, so that won't work. So Modernia probably would be your best bet. What I would do, I would probably just do the team that I'm doing right now, and just slot out Helm. As much as I like Helm, I like that lifesteal. Basically, what that is, it's just you get health when you attack. I like that a lot, but she is falling in because she's a sniper rifle unit. So honestly, I would just slot her in with this team. And since she already gets herself an attack boost, she doesn't need leader. I mean, unless hers is higher, I don't think my leader's not maxed, so take those with a grain of salt. If your leader is maxed, you can look at yours. Mine's not even close to being maxed. Actually, that's quite high. That's a lot higher than hers. I'm not sure if attack stacks or not, because I've never really paid attention to that, because I don't usually have attack boosting characters, and if they do, I don't really pay attention to it. It's never really come up that I've needed to do like min-max so far. I've not really needed to min-max anything, because I've beaten most of the EX bosses at level 9, and I've never really had to worry about min-maxing anything. So eventually, when I get into the story, like hard mode and things like that, you'll have to start min-maxing probably a lot more. But so I feel like if you put A2 in this team, definitely take out Helm. The unfortunate thing is now you have 2 rocket launchers if you have Senti. So maybe you could do the bunny package instead. You could have, since Nier is a burst 3 character, you could have a she rocket launcher unit. She is not, thankfully. Yeah, this is probably fine. You have, I forgot what Nier is, or Blanc. Sorry, Nier. Blanc. What is she? Assault rifle. Okay, so you could actually do the bunny package, and then you could do A2 and then have a healer. So instead of Senti, you would have Blanc here. Instead of Moderna, you'd have Nier, and you would have A2 here, and then you have these 2. Dorothy is amazing, by the way. Just want to point that out. She's not part of the review, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Dorothy. But yeah, A2 is quite good. Much easier to build a team around her, that's for sure. It's much easier to build a team for A2 than it is for 2B. You may disagree with that. That's completely fine. And most people will say, "Oh, I already have this, and this for 2B," and that's completely okay. Some of you guys may not have this, and this, like Mast and Summer Mary and things like that. People may not have those. So I think if you don't have the setup for 2B and you didn't pull for 2B, and if you've been waiting, you won at least one of them, then I think you should. I think A2 is probably the easier one to pull for. I feel like it's just easier. It just rolls off the tongue. Like it's much easier to pull for this character than it is for 2B, where you have to be she requires less. 2B requires less equipment investment, but she requires more team investment. A2 requires pretty good equipment investment, but less team investment. If that really makes sense. If you want to just boil that all the way down to the very most simplest of things, A2 requires less team effort, but of course you'd want to put some overloads on her. And 2B doesn't really need overloads. It'd be nice to have if you have some spare ones, but that's what I feel like. So we will be pulling for 2B, but it'll probably be a separate video. I know I said that in the 2B one, but I didn't pull for her. But this time I think I will. I have 20 tickets. Let's just count that. And I don't know why it's cut off at the top. I have 22k gems. I prefer not to spend a whole lot of that, but if it comes down to it, it is what it is. And then after I get A2, well, I better get her. At the end of my pulls, I will have to start. You guys will have to start saving for the anniversary, because it will be coming. I feel like anything that comes from now until the anniversary is probably not worth it. The logistics version, like if you just want to boil that down to like Yeah, there might be something broken in between now and anniversary, but it's anniversary. I mean, there's gonna be a really good banner. I mean, you saw half anniversary, we got Dorothy, and she's super, super top tier, amazing. One of the best units in the game. Of course, she's a pilgrim, but yeah. So I think it's worth it to either do one of the two if you like the game. You came into the game just for this Nier collaboration. You probably want to get at least one of them. A2 or 2B, whichever one you want to pull for. And then you want to start saving till anniversary. I feel like that's just the best bet. And it's the most logical way of thinking about a lot of mobile games anyways. A lot of games I cover on this channel, you kind of want to just save until anniversary because usually the anniversary banners are very solid. Like Dokkan Battle, for example, the anniversary banners are usually the best in the game until worldwide download celebration, of course. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing some pulls for the A2. Make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe for that if you're interested in that. And I'll be building her and maybe showing her off if you are interested in seeing that. But I'm not a whale, so if you want to see her in action right away, I'm sure there's already like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 videos already showcasing her, and that's completely fine. I'm not a whale, so I can't pull her and get her to like LB3 and, you know, try her out right away. I don't have that, so I'm just here. I'm just a talking head on a screen talking about what I see on the screen, and that's my opinion. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.